believe that, if you don't think that's the case, all I can say is take a look around, Chuck Schumer. I submit to you, this is who it's for. I submit to you, this is who he has in mind. I submit to you, this is who he's looking out for. This is what he's thinking about. Now, of course, this smacks and blatantly smacks you in the face. It's part of the anti-black eugenics agenda. These are the same people who sit up here and tell you that black people need to abort their babies on demand. They set up abortion clinics in black neighborhoods, always have since Roe v. Wade. When they couldn't come in and forcibly take away your reproductive ability. They made sure that, boy, you don't have access to stop police brutality. You don't have access to college funds. You don't have access to a dentist, but you can get an abortion. You're within a very short drive of getting an abortion. Now they're telling you there are not enough citizens. The population's not replacing at a fast enough clip here. You've killed like 90 million babies since 1975. Many of them black children. While you've been sitting up here making an express lane for black babies to the abortion clinic, and now, after creating this genocidal situation, they're now telling you, don't worry, we have the solution. You see, the problem is, now that we have instituted a policy, that restricts your numbers. On the one hand, we can abort the babies. On the other hand, we got the school to prison pipeline. We got you coming and going. Now that they have created this Holocaust, he's now telling you, well, you know, the only solution is not you. Anybody but you.
This M13B.
No, the solution is something else. It isn't you.
Grab a car.
It's not you.
No way, I didn't know this.
Did you catch that? They're telling you that America's population isn't growing fast enough to please the capitalists and the bankers and the industrialists. So the solution isn't to stop encouraging abortion at every step of the way.
1-1. You
want to legalize 11 million illegals. What about the 90 or so million that American citizens?
Yo, where the whips at?
Notice he doesn't see that as the answer, and they're not setting up abortion clinics at the border to say, hey, come over here, Guadalupe. You know, really, you can't afford to take care of these kids. We brought you in here for some counseling. You know, don't worry, Miss Stacey Abrams will be here in a minute. She's going to let you know that, you know, the cost of inflation and the cost of rent and everything, you can't really take care of these kids like that. So you already got 3 of them with you, so you don't need another 8.
Yo, get exposed.
We really need to take care of this last one here. So can you really afford to do this?
Ultra One, activity has increased in the area. Keep your eyes open.
They set up induction centers at the border, but they're not setting up abortion clinics at the border. So understand what they're telling you here. This is the most gross insult that you could imagine. They've told you to abort your babies at every turn. Now they're telling you, oh, not enough babies were born. Need illegals. We're in a desperate situation. No, we're not.
I'm not sure if I already did that challenge or not.
You see, this is to make sure that you beat down that black population's numbers.
Come help.
To make them politically weak, and now you want to legalize a bunch of illegals to make them politically irrelevant. These are illegals who within one generation, not 2 or 3, within one generation, they will assimilate into these other European cultures, which is what happens. Shout out Jennifer Lopez.
Oh shit.
Shout out Jennifer Lopez. Jennifer Lopez, now remember I gave you this prediction a decade ago. Jennifer Lopez used black people as her economic base. This is the pathway in America. Let me go ahead and lay it out for you. And by the way, if you like tonight's program, hit the likes button for me. If I'm telling the truth, give me a thumbs up in the chat room and hit the likes button.
Yo, I got a truck. I'm coming to pick you up, Exposed.
Very, very important that we do that. We want to make sure that folks understand this isn't just 2 or 3 people who like what you're hearing on tonight's program here. Otherwise, I'll go ahead and wrap up. No reason to stick around longer than we need to. But it's time for us to be real about this. Jennifer Lopez demonstrates the template of how other people use of the pathway to economic prosperity in America. First and foremost, if you're non-black immigrants, go find some black people. You use them as your economic base. White society is not going to fool you. So you use them as
the economic base
to get yourself certified.
Yeah, you don't want to go here, right?
You then can go ahead and start choosing in white society.
You need to exfil with those
Make a name for
objectives to
yourself.
complete your active mission.
Get
moving.
the manager's position at the Amazon.
Yeah.
Whatever the case may be. You're gonna date a few white men, or a few white women, whichever side you might fall on. But when it is time to have children, what you will do is you will go back to the native culture, Asian, Latino, Arab. You got your money off of black folk, you get your white people, and once you solidified yourself in the culture, then when it's time to reproduce, you're going to go back to your people. But if that fails, then you go get the bag in white society because you've already cut your teeth to being able to integrate into it. So you still can identify the situation perfectly fine. Jennifer Lopez is doing all the Latina flex, ish. Jessica Alba wasn't doing a bunch of Latina flexing until they called her out on it. But by the way, you haven't heard her flexing that. Very interesting thing. Ava Longoria and friends, they had a good run for a minute there, but now that times are hard and it's economically difficult, they're all out to get the bag. Now all of a sudden there's no more Latin flexing. Nobody's doing their Latin flexing anymore now, are they? Accidental? I think that's an accident. This is the pathway. Get your feet wet and get yourself economically established among black people. Springboard from there to connect yourself to the dominant society. When it's time to have a family, you go with your people, and then when it's time to cash out, you go back over in the white society and contribute to the greater American economic engine and the dominant society. That's the pathway to citizenship.
Hey, yo, brother.
It's not the, well, it's the pathway to citizenship and it's the pathway of citizenship.
Reality.
And when it is over,
Good dog.
a decade ago, this microphone.
I bet. The other guy left because he died, I think.
We could have got him.
I explained it over a decade ago exactly what was happening. When I said that you are
yeah, I'm just trying to get a gas mask.
European culture. These are all European cultures. German.
If I can, I'll grab you one from the store.
Spanish.
I bet.
With the sole exception of their languages.
Because I really need this fucking M16, bro.
When you talk about the
I'm trying for like
slave trade, they were
or the M13, I mean, yeah.
Entities were involved.
Yeah, y'all tried like 6 times.
Yeah, I never had
all of them profited
with, you know?
Now, how in the world
that's what I'm saying. Like, everybody keeps kind of sucking ass.
Yeah, then one guy, he was
France,
jumping on the
Britain,
plane.
Spain.
The dude I was with.
You get the
and
idea.
Like, I'm friendly.
Yet they
I'm
could all agree on enslaving
he jumped
black.
on the plane, my partner went and shot him.
Now they could all agree on that.
Like,
I explained this to people going on 15 years ago. That when it all came down dealing with European cultures, black people are accustomed to looking at the beginning of the 20th century when Irish and Italians and Greeks were inducted into whiteness. When they were all finally integrated into whiteness. And a lot, remember back then, Spanish folks. By the way, I was remembering an old song. Here, as a matter of fact.
Yo,
Because
I got a gas
we've been
mask.
led
And I got a gas
focus
mask.
on everybody else.
I actually, yeah, I got 2 gas masks.
That's one of those things
fucking
there.
girl.
Well, they don't tell you about that. And especially for those of you
I'm
who are not
leaving
old
this shit.
enough.
Oh shit.
1-1. Exfil with those objectives.
Those of you who are not old enough.
Mission progress.
But by the way, do you remember the song? Well, there was a dude named Marty Robinson.
Gee.
Dude named Marty Robinson. I had to remember that there for a while ago there. How many of y'all remember Marty Robinson? Oh, we're going way, way long here, aren't we? We're going way, way long. There was a guy named Marty Robbins. Not Marty Robinson, Marty Robbins. Marty Robbins. Oh, there's a bunch of folk that never heard of that there before.
Hostile counter UAV overhead.
Had never heard of that. Let me go ahead and bring him up here for a moment. Hope I'm not going to get a copyright strike, but let me go ahead and bring Marty on up here so you can go ahead and see him. Come on down front here, Marty. Check over here and see. Oh, take a look at that. Y'all remember this? That's Marty Robbins.
Yo, you coming
It's
over
an
here?
old song.
Yeah, I haven't hit
Take a
the
look
store
there.
yet.
In case you couldn't understand the lyrics there. Out in the West Texas town of El Paso, I fell in love with a Mexican girl. Perfectly fine. Go ahead. No issues there.
Yeah, there's another gas mask. Yeah, I'm
No
gonna
issues there.
have that.
Recon signal lost.
That song was made back in 1959. 1959. Before the civil rights movement proper kicked off.
Ultra One, we're seeing increased
I'm bringing this
activity
up
in the area.
to you
Stay
to
sharp.
make a point. See, for those of you who are young, you think that Latina chasing is new. You didn't know it's just your
All
turn.
right, I'm headed towards
It's
you.
not new. The dominant society is
Yeah, you got a vehicle or what?
He's talking about El
Take you to the
Paso.
gas
As if
station.
he was talking about Boise.
Alright,
I got a little 4Runner. I mean, an ATV.
alright.
By the way, this is just one of many.
Yeah, I got a armored truck.
This is just one of many.
So,
There are a number of different songs just like this. The other day, I was just thinking about it and whatnot, and that it come to me. I said, Marty Robbins, didn't he have a song that says straight up the middle with it? That's perfectly fine, but my whole point here is that as black people, your experience in these non-black circles is not the same as white society's experience. Their experience is very pleasant. Their experience is very pleasant. They already know the deal. You are dealing with European cultures. As I have always told you, you are dealing with a group of European cultures. And they're setting that agenda. Now you're
Yo, you're coming to me?
just how tight the agenda has been all this time. Now, early in the 20th century, the reason why I brought up Martin Luther King is because early in the 20th century, those were white
Advised, enemy
people.
attack helo is heading your way.
They were white people. We talk about LULAC and whatever, but these were white folk. Ethnic white people. And that was okay right up until 1970 census. Oh, not white anymore. You're something else legally. Okay, but when they have the opportunity to choose, 7 out of 10 identify as white. And you see, on paper, they might have the option of putting Latino or Hispanic non-white, but in practice, in the society, they move and operate as white. You are white until it's spoken otherwise. Anybody who works at a hospital in California, in Texas, in New York, in Florida. Anybody who works in a hospital in any of those places, you know well that is white.
Ultra One, activity is increasing near
There
your location.
is
Stay alert.
no distinction. None. There is no distinction made whatsoever. Until the Afro-Latino
You
show.
going to the little search bar?
As soon as the
Yeah, the radiation zone there.
They're Latin.
The yellow circle
That's when things get ugly.
on the map.
Things get ugly as soon as the non-white Latinos attempt to crash the party. Once that occurs, then the Anglos and the white Latinos, all of a sudden it gets ugly. It gets ugly. So if you're asking yourself how Chuck Schumer, who himself is Jewish, is so concerned about bringing in non-white people, he's not even bringing in Jewish people, he's bringing in non-white people. If you're wondering why he is so concerned about that, it is because this has always been the agenda. We've been telling you all, talking about supporting the Democrats. This has always been the Democrats' agenda. From LBJ to BHO, Barack Hussein Obama.
Yeah, I'm just right across here, this bridge.
Or from LBJ
Ultra One,
to
we're seeing increased
JB,
activity in the
to
area.
old
Stay sharp.
JB, Joe Biden.
Yeah, I'm coming to pick you up in
60-year
like
strategy
Alright, yeah, I
for the purpose
right by
the water.
of getting the former slaves out of the streets. Getting the former slaves and their descendants out of the streets. The former slaves have started to increase in numbers to the point they're able to elect their own mayors in cities. The agenda is very, very clear. Empty out the cities, destroy the economies,
Alright, yo, let's go find this fucking chemist.
criminalize the males,
Ultra One, the enemy is on high alert. Proceed with
corrupt and
caution.
Oh, yeah, wait,
females
hold up.
to believe that they have some
This is your,
privilege of their own.
yeah, this is your gas mask.
Oh, I got one.
Divide.
Oh shit, I bet.
And then in
Let's go, let's go.
But they've known this the entire time.
Oh shit, here we
They've
need
known
fuel.
this the entire time.
That's why I was stopping
There's
at the
another
gas
gas
station
station.
right there.
Thurman and Robert Byrd.
Oh shit, everyone's fucking. Jesus.
Well, what they have decided is
Yeah, let's just fucking run it and find
about to go
another
a little
car.
bit deep in this with you right quick because I want you to understand
Yeah, there's
how
another one right over here.
states operate.
The armored truck.
Xi Jinping, the chairman of the Communist Party in China, he's essentially the president of China. You remember a few months ago he gave a speech
And we'll go to
about
the radiation
Taiwan.
zone and then
Those of you who don't know,
expo.
you
We only
hear
have like
about
9
China
minutes.
and Taiwan and Chiang Kai-shek. Long story short, Taiwan is where the
they gonna be on my
non-communists
ass,
took over.
too.
They ran the
Yeah.
old leadership in China out, and they all.
Yo, is there only one chemist or what?
Yep. Only one chemist per
Oh,
match.
no.
China has always considered
One chemist
Oh,
and
shit.
one M13.
not an
Self-revive.
independent nation. That Taiwan is Chinese soil. That is the political position of the Chinese government. It is not actually a geopolitical fact. China was like, yeah, that's a renegade province. And they've been on a mission now for decades to recapture that renegade province. And if you remember, Xi Jinping gave a speech
Ultra One, that
where
area
he said,
contains high amounts
Alright, where's
we
this
are
guy at?
not
Use your gas
going
mask
to
and move fast.
pass this problem on to the next generation. The issue of what to do about Taiwan is going to be solved by us in this
Oh
generation.
yeah, shit.
The issue of what to do.
I might actually exit real quick so I can change it.
One, activity has
We will not
increased in
pass
the
this
area. Keep your
on
eyes
to the
open.
next one. I submit to you all that when I told you a decade ago this was not the turning right service in the next 500 years,
Where's the
I submit
chemist
to you
at?
all that they are not going to pass the decision to the next generation. They They are.
Yeah, what does he look like even?
He's in a whole juggernaut suit.
Right here.
It's not easy to fight him.
They want to put all
Oh shit.
the wheels in motion now. And folks, this is action.
There we go.
No longer move the shadows. They're not saying we're not going to pass this on to the next generation. We're not going to slow walk it anymore. Black folk are in open rebellion.
Yo, let's get in this whipper here.
The defeat of Stacey Abrams in Georgia, I told everybody that is the one to watch because that is the one
Who the
that
fuck is-
determines whether or not black
Well, let's say if he's already been killed or not.
watching that one in the Democratic Party, they were watching with anxious, bated breath,
You don't know.
beads of sweat pouring down their forehead.
He's in the other zone. We might as well exfil and come back
went
again.
down in defeat. Not just
What do you mean?
defeat,
Did
but
you see what I put on the map? That's what the case is. It's not in this radiation zone. It's in the other one.
That 2008, 10,000 votes and 10,000, 18,000 votes. This time she lost by 300.
There's
we
another
jumped out.
radiation zone?
Yeah, you see on the map where the case is? It's that supply
And they
case with the
understand that if
question
black
mark.
people had been fully mobilized, well, this wouldn't have
Black case with the question
But they
mark.
are
Yeah, I
listening
got it marked on the
saying
Oh, shit.
they spent
I
Stacey
got it.
Abrams' entire campaign responding to us in the Democratic media saying you got to come vote. Stop telling folk don't vote. You got to come vote. Now they understand they don't have the sway that they used to have. It's only a matter of
That's where it's
time
at?
before this
Weapon
campaign
case. Oh shit.
reaches critical mass. And
God
you
damn.
lose
Alright, well,
complete
let's go over there then.
of the black body politic. So they're saying we
need to get
cannot
some
wait.
more,
You got to
plates
hit
and,
the panic button now. You have got to hit
Yeah,
it now.
fuck it.
We cannot
Some on
wait.
the way, but if not, we
Because
gotta,
the
I would
message
say we should exfiltrate,
and the mission
make sure
is the
all
lead.
our arms are
The
good and just
narrative
come in
is
straight
taking
up and go
root.
straight
People
forward.
are buying in.
Yeah.
You can't wait anymore. We got to push it
Fucking-
and run with it now.
You know what? Let's just exfil now.
This is why you've got city council members
Yeah,
in
jump
Los
out.
Angeles. One step down, the others won't. They're flexing it now. They're letting you know, we're pushing the agenda now. Not in 20 years from now, today.
Damn,
All
I
of
need
them
some
ganging
plates.
up on black folk. We're going to push the anti-black agenda now. We've got to destabilize and replace them now. It cannot wait. It cannot wait. Not anymore. The situation is too dire.
This is Dino 4. We're approaching
Nancy
the LZ
Pelosi
now.
lost her
Keep it secure
speakership.
for us.
Boy, she was sitting there crying and boo-hooing, trying to keep a stiff upper lip. Nancy Pelosi understands, don't you all know that was a gut shot? Every time the Democrats lose, they point to
Dino
black
4 is at the
vote.
extract point. Be
This
advised,
time
we
was the
can't
first
stay
time
long.
you didn't hear them saying that quite so openly.
Dino 4 is RTB.
And that's because they want to give the impression that we were not involved now, which is very, very strange because that was all we heard before election night. As soon as we said we're the new black media, that's right, by the way, bring it over here. After you lose this election, come back over here to us and we'll keep the post-mortem. Now they're saying, hey, don't hand that microphone to them. And Chuck Schumer goes out with a crowd of non-black immigrants and their supporters to tell you that this is the agenda.
All right, you want to
This
add me or I'm going to
is
add
what
you?
the agenda is. This is what the
Yeah,
agenda
I
is.
mean, and I'll,
All right, I
And
sent you a
he's
friend
telling
next
request.
game.
Cannot wait.
I bet.
Can't wait. Folks, this has got nothing to do with Republicans. He's letting you know that this cannot wait because of black people. It cannot wait. They don't say these things because they're bored. They say them because it's the truth.
Now more than ever, we're short of workers. We have a population that is not reproducing on its own. with the same level that it used to. The only way we're going to have a great future in America is if we welcome and embrace immigrants, the dreamers, and all of them, because our ultimate goal is to help the dreamers, but get a path to citizenship for all 11 million or however many undocumented there are here.
Now notice, he hasn't talked about black people. You've heard nothing about it.
All right, let's go.
Hasn't said anything.
This is my last game because I gotta drive my girlfriend home.
Point.
All right, no problem.
That has always been the point. Now, Chuck Schumer, who I believe also comes from an immigrant background, there's a reason why that for him. As far as he's concerned, as long as they're sitting in the catbird seat and they can pull the levers of power, everybody else will be relegated to a workforce, or at the very least, they will be regarded
So that's the neck, babe.
You said what?
Let's be very, very clear. They are
No, yeah, not you.
building a bridge for Latinos.
Yeah, I was talking with
a
him.
wall for black folk. For Haitians and Africans, it's a wall. For Latinos, it's an escalator. For Latinos, they're building a door, a revolving door.
Yeah, so we're going right for
So-called black immigrants,
whip and then getting that.
Yeah, and straight to the case.
On your map, it literally it says the online drops tonight at 7.
We will take anybody but black people, bolstering anybody but black people. This is the
The Green Ranger died.
Slavery.
Bucky.
The unfinished business of slavery.
Or no, Buckeye, fuck.
Now it's the
Yo.
sheet's been ripped off.
Oh shit, now it's Jeffrey Dahmer.
And now you're seeing the naked agenda showing itself that, oh no, not
Yo.
5 million, 11 million,
Jeff, my
however
man.
many there are.
Here's the plan, we're getting a whip, and then
Understand if this was black folk like
I'm
that,
going to grab
say
that.
anything like that. While they're telling black people what cannot be done for us, while they're giving
Great,
us
where you get the fucking
nobody said we
M13,
need to
or
have
is
a
it in the
study.
radiation?
You notice nobody is suggesting a study.
It's in the radiation,
Where are
man.
the study
There's in
people?
the- there's in the
Where are all the
radiation,
folks who
but
were
it's where
telling
the
us that
case
we
is,
didn't
though.
understand? We can't go for reparations because
What do you mean?
got to have
Like
a
when you see
study.
you see it on the
can't
map,
do
it's
this
a
without
a case on there, like
You
a
need to
supply
have
drop with a
study
question
and
mark on it.
Yeah.
survey.
Yeah, but like the case and
Remember
the
that?
radiation zone like
What
aren't
happened to the need for a
like
study?
in the same
Shouldn't
place,
study
are they?
What happened if you sit up here and grab a bunch
two
of
radiation
11
zones on the
million
map.
random folk? Shouldn't we
I'm
study
so
what would occur
confused.
then?
So this
Oh,
one I just
wait.
marked, that's where you get the case.
So that wait,
Folks, they started
this
legalizing
is a radiation zone? No,
illegals before, and we're still not paying college
I don't
athletes.
fucking know. Let's just get a car.
College athletes can't have a job, but illegals can.
Yo, Jeff's already up
Make sure you all
there.
understand that.
Oh wait, there's a car right
Sure you
here. Yo,
understand.
Jeff's already down. God
Even
damn
your
it,
southern
Jeff.
states, supposedly your SEC powerhouses and whatnot. Understand that for a moment here. So let me get this straight. Your black college athletes
Yo, hop in,
can't
hop in.
but illegal aliens can.
Oh shit, he's right here. Yeah.
Think about that for a few moments. I ain't lying.
Yeah, I'm 90% sure those are actual players. So let's
I ain't
fucking get out of here.
Ultra One, activity is increasing.
But we
near
have to have a
location.
study
Stay
for
alert.
reparations. We gotta have a study for us. And yes, I'm aware of what's happening out there in San Francisco. I'll post about that on my Twitter page. Post about that on my Twitter page. We'll come back to San Francisco.
So are we going to the radiation zone or the weapon thing?
This is the story that I put up here from Now This, I think it was. They were talking about that Now This. About a couple in Texas wanting to adopt some Native American children.
I'm 90% sure we go to the radiation zone. Because that's the thing, because that's what the challenge says. It says go to the radiation zone and kill the chemist.
If that's not what they want to do. Now, I want you to listen to the story themselves.
I mean, like, I don't know. You could be right, but now we got 23 minutes, so
For religious reasons, they feel very important children, and they feel like do so. However, the Indian Child Welfare Act does allow wives
She's referring to ICWA, ICWA, the Indian Child Welfare Act. Now, she's going to explain exactly what
Yeah, there goes our wheels. My bad,
The
boys.
Indian Child Welfare Act is
There's another
a
car over
law that
here.
Congress passed in 1978 that
By the way, Congress passed this law in 1978.
The SUV.
Shouldn't be any surprise. Right
the fuck?
after
Why?
black folk in the 1960s finally get a few
Yo,
things
down
off
there.
the
Radiation
table,
zone.
all of a sudden they go to work. Everybody else. Here comes LGBT.
Yeah, this guy right in front of us here.
Immigrants. All of a sudden,
Mark him.
kickstarts everybody else.
Mark him.
Black. Yet you're turning to all these other groups.
Ultra
Why?
One, UAV is
Why
bingo
all of a
fuel
sudden?
and RTB.
bet.
Finish this. Why would you do that in 1978 when you got so much unfinished business sitting over here? That's not accidental.
Oh shit, yeah, we need gas masks. I forgot.
Remember the time.
the Indian Child Welfare Act is a law that
Alright, yeah, I'm exploring.
Advise you equip your gas mask in this area, but keep your time on target limited.
safety, and welfare of Native children. So
Oh, wait.
if an Indian child is
I
being
A gas mask, yeah.
Jeff
we
might
make
need
sure
one.
that
Yeah, yo,
child-
Jeff doesn't have his.
priorities are that child ends up with his or her family's car.
Unless he does have a gas mask, he's in the car, so.
Strangers, if there aren't any other healthy, good options.
Yo, I want to go in the radiation zone to see if Jeff puts on a gas mask.
And that's really a best standard.
No?
Really, any
Oh, yeah, yo, Jeff needs a
It's
mask.
really important, and it still is important for Indian children because our kids are targeted by the adoption industry
Goodbye,
and by
dear man.
states who have prejudice and bias against Native families and Native Nation.
Well, that's interesting, ma'am. You know what? I would be very,
Uh,
very
the-
willing to give you the benefit of the doubt on that, even though I can't necessarily prove it myself. I'd be very inclined to give you the benefit of the doubt, especially because it's black folk by I'll be damned. Isn't that what we've been saying? Haven't we been saying this about black people and black children all this time? Isn't that what we've been saying? This is exactly the arguments that we made, and yet there's no law for us. We talk about targeted. There's nobody more targeted than black people, and yet you've never heard of anybody carving out something like this for us. Never heard anything like that before. Never. Nobody, if you want to sit up and say, well, Jason, it's because they are a nation. They're not a nation, but anyway, they want to be, they acknowledge as a nation, okay. You don't,
Yeah, I don't know.
can't do it based on race. Every time black
Yeah, I
folks
was
show
gonna
up, and
say.
all of a sudden we can't do it based on race. Every time black people show up, you can't do it based on race. Now, everything else is enacted based on race. As soon as
Ultra
black
One,
people show up, all of a sudden
enemy
we're told it
UAVs
can't
in
be
the
based
airspace.
on race. All of a sudden you can't do that. Okay, fine. The former descendants of the former slaves. Now, we've been targeted because we are a nation of the descendants of former slaves. We are a lineage. Fine. But I just want you to understand what they're saying here, because what she's saying, this applies directly to black people, and yet no one has stated it this way. Our kids are getting grabbed up by Madonna and Charlize Theron and any other sick, twisted deviant who wants to come around the corner and mind
Ultra One,
these
that's a denied
children.
area. Enemy presence will be high.
Our kids are being targeted. Been targeted, and we've been talking about this forever. And listen to how she describes this.
Make sure that child, the priorities are that protect the lives, safety, and welfare of Native children. So that if an Indian child is being taken from his or her their home, to protect the lives.
All right, now I want you to see that third clause in there. See that third clause in there. I'm going to start from the second one first, that Congress, through
One, activity
statutes,
has
treaties,
increased in the
and the
area.
general
Keep your
course
eyes
of dealing
open.
with Indian tribes, has assumed the responsibility for the protection and preservation of
You get a
Indian
mask yet?
tribes and their resources. People, this is in law.
I need some more money to buy
Didn't
masks. I don't
require
have
a
enough.
plebiscite, a study, a committee, a commission, a Sunday
I
go
got
to meeting.
1580 and I need
It didn't
2,000.
require any of that. They got a law back in 78. I want you to read the words on this screen because you are bound to the letter of the law. Not whatever you assume the intent of it is. Look at what that says. I'm not giving you conspiracy theory. This is what it says, that Congress has plenary power over Indian affairs. Really want some good reading, you ought to go ahead and check out what the ICWA says.
We're moving to the LZ for extraction.
For those of you who don't know what the word means, it means unqualified absolute. In case you were wondering,
I'm gonna try and crawl out of the zone, but I found the chemist. I mean,
Indian affairs. That means absolute. For those of you who did not know, absolute power over Indian affairs. Then it goes on to clause number 2.
Oh shit, there I am.
Through statutes, treaties, and the
Did you have a gas mask? I also found the chemist, so just run in there.
Longer than the first.
Like,
it says that Congress, through statutes,
pick me up.
treaties, those are just 3 words. Statutes, treaties, and the general course of dealing with Indian tribes. In other words, simply because of their contact and interaction. You need to understand that it's separate and apart from the statutes and treaties. This is law. It's separate and apart from it. It's saying, by the way, it's not simply because of statutes. It's not simply because of treaties for all the damn people out there talking about, well, we're the original Native Americans and they need to honor our treaties. This thing right here is telling you, by the way, we're the white government. We don't need a treaty or a statute to justify our plenary power. We can do it because we are the government. Which is what Neely Fuller has been saying for the longest time, what Louis Farrakhan's been saying for the longest time, what Jason Black has been saying for the longest time. We don't have to go through all these damn hoops and rigmarole and backflips and acrobatics. People, it says right here in the law. It's in the law that Congress has this power simply because they have in the general course of
truck right there for you.
So in other words, if you think about it, this really kind of dovetails with qualified immunity. That, well, simply because of the course of your job duties, you've got, unless the Supreme Court says you don't have this power and don't have this ability, you've got it.
I'm on the far side of the radiation zone. So if you go around,
you're going to have to get a court to say you don't have this. So you got all the powers you want unless somebody says you don't have it. Well, guess what? This law is sitting here telling you statutes, treaties, and the general course of dealing with Indian tribes that Congress has assumed the responsibility for the protection and preservation of Indian tribes and their resources. Then you come down to clause number 3, that there is no resource that is more vital to the continued existence and integrity of Indian tribes than their children, and that the United States has direct interest as trustee in protecting Indian children who are members of or are eligible for membership in an Indian tribe. People that have never spoken about black people like this ever. They have never spoken about the descendants of American slaves like this ever. Never heard these sentences used in reference to us, ever. That there's no more vital resource than children. Well, I'll be damned by Margaret Sanger's descendants who opened up abortion clinics in the back.
Yeah, the chemist is like in like right in the middle of that farm. So.
Let's be very, very clear. Tribe is a race.
Yeah, just hop the fence, hop the fence, hop the fence.
Let's cut bull crap. A tribe is a race. A tribe is a race of people. Until you actually share the blood of those people, you are a
Don't get me at this, yeah, with some guys.
Don't let anybody sit up here and deceive you or fool you. Folks, a tribe is a race.
Self-revive like a monkey.
A tribe is a race, people.
You don't have any some shots,
Here,
dude.
take a look at clause number 4. It says that an alarmingly high percentage of Indian families are broken up by the removal, often
There's a guy up on the
unwanted,
hill.
of their children from them by non-tribal public and private
right
agencies,
there.
and that an alarmingly high percentage of such
There he
children are
was.
placed in non-Indian foster and adoptive homes and institutions. You are describing black children right now. You are describing black children right now. You're describing how they have been targeted. That's what you're describing. Now, they were able to make this law in 1978. Notice they didn't extend it to the descendants of the slaves. They didn't extend it to anybody else here. They made this law right here and said, okay, that's fine. Because the demographics were different back then. Latinos don't need a law like this. By the way, black people do not have these protections. When Dr. Claude Anderson quote unquote protect classes of people, this is what he's talking about. He referred to protected classes. This on your screen literally has the word protection in it. It literally says that the United States Congress has assumed the responsibility for the protection of Indian tribes. That same government has yet
Jeff's just gonna
to
act
claim
Phil.
need or responsibility for the protection.
No way. No,
of
Jeff, what a
targeted
dick.
lynching, which still continues to this day.
What the fuck,
Targeting
Jeff?
of black children,
He
which
probably ain't
continues
gonna
to
make
this
it. You know,
day.
cowards never make it.
But these other folks have protections already written into law. Folks,
Shit, they
how
on
many
his ass.
marches
Somebody
did the
coming out with
Americans
their
have to-
case.
How many marches did
Oh,
they
shit.
do?
on
How
their
many
helicopter,
riots did they
leaving
have to
Jeff.
execute?
Oh, shit.
Jeff ain't getting on that helicopter.
Yeah, yo,
Them
How
real
many
players.
yeah, Jeff ain't shit.
Yeah, that's what you get. You ain't getting on that.
1619
Yo, eat 'em,
project.
Jeff.
How many college curriculums and social movements did it take to get
Yo, he's like actually not gonna pick us up now because of
How
that.
the hell is it that Native Americans were able to get this and they didn't have to do any of the things that we are still having
I'm
to
done.
do today?
Oh shit, yo, I thought my game fucking
They
froze. I was
didn't
gonna
have
say,
to
I'm
lift
closing it.
a finger. Folks, the Native American population is not big enough to have any political power anywhere. This was long before the Indian casinos, folks. Decades before the Indian.
Yo, Jeff, I don't suggest running right through that, buddy. Go
So that
around.
means that Congress simply did this because
Or at least
they
go on the
wanted
outskirts.
to. Well, what the hell? You've been steamrolling these folk now for centuries. Why is it 19?
Oh wait, yo, you don't have a mask, do you, Jeff? Jump up and down if you have a gas mask.
Because if you'll all notice, everybody else is being told we need to
Why?
protect your kids. They're sending children across. These women from Mexico and whatnot are sending their children across the border unaccompanied. Mom of the year over there. And they're saying, oh, we gotta take care of the kids and protect the kids over here. We gotta protect them. Black children? Oh, you're a grown man at the age of 5. You're a grown woman at the age of 4. You don't have any rights. You're an adult.
Wow. You know what?
At the age of 6.
Completely not even worth it anymore because
that acknowledges this
the
and it acknowledges the need for protection.
boss logo just disappeared,
Asians have a
which
hate
means
crime
that
bill.
somebody killed the
Asians.
chemist
Native Americans have a
in there.
protection law.
So unless you kill some people and get
Only
that
one group of
weapon,
people
bro,
doesn't have anything to protect.
Jeffrey.
White folk are protected by affirmative action. Black people, however,
This
do
should
not
be in the
have
middle.
anything that protects our life and limb.
Yeah, Jeffrey Dahmer coming in for the clutch.
Acknowledges the past, present, and ongoing system of oppression against us and targeting of us. Never seen a law like this in your life for black folk, have you? Just read the wording.
Act is
Yo, I need some fucking. Yeah, I need a fucking
By the way, I
weapon.
want to back up here so you can see this first part again. It says recognizing the special
Okay.
relationship
Yeah, no, this
between the
chemist
United
guy
States
is
and the Indian
completely
tribes and their
Yeah,
members.
no, I think, and somebody has
The
this
United
shit.
States government has a special relationship with black folk. That's why they've been targeting us for
Yeah,
annihilation
somebody has this
now
Kenneth
for
guy's
20+
shit.
years. There's a special relationship with us too. As a matter of fact, it's the premier relationship.
In 1978, that creates procedural safeguard to protect the lives, safety, and
1-1.
welfare of Native children,
with
so
those
that
objectives
if an
to
Indian
secure
child
faction
is being
mission
taken
progress.
from his or her their home for any reason, we make sure that that child, the priorities are that that child ends up with his or her family first.
So did you hear that? She said if a child is taken out of the home for any reason, but that's white privilege right there. Ain't no loophole. Did you hear that? She said if they're taken out of the home for any reason. See, this is language that empowers people when it says it doesn't matter the reason you showed up. It doesn't matter why you're here, Mr. Government, Mr. Child Protective Services. It doesn't matter why you showed up. If you wish to remove these children for any reason, the default of the law is that we are going to look for a relative, if there's one available, to place the children with. Doesn't matter why you showed up. So you see, it doesn't matter how corrupt
There's the guys.
Child Protective Services might be. It doesn't matter how corrupt the adoptive agencies might be. What they're saying is, oh, it doesn't matter if they show up on at your doorstep for any reason. It doesn't matter what it is. It doesn't matter if you're guilty of abuse. It doesn't matter why they're there. The default is that we are going to look for a relative to place the child with. We are not going to look to adopt the child out. We are going to first and foremost look to see if there's a relative to put them with, no matter what the reason.
Are we
is
exfilling
they
or
showed
what?
up. Sound familiar? Like you're illegal aliens. It doesn't matter what the reason is. You start invoking your rights, even though you as not you don't actually have the rights.
We make sure that that child, the priorities are that child ends up with his or her family
We need those
first.
objectives to
And we
secure
only
mission
place Indian
progress.
children with
Move to
complete
extraction.
strangers if there aren't any other healthy, good options available within that
Yeah, let's go back to that real quick.
Now, did you hear what she said? We're only gonna place the child with someone outside the tribe unless if there's no safe or acceptable alternatives within the family.
Like, we should
or
really go
within
over
the
that
tribal
airport.
nation. So in other words, even if it's a non-relative, if it's just a random Native American who wants to adopt a kid, but let's see if they'll work out. So in other words, dealing with non-Native Americans is a weapon of last resort. She's sitting here telling you what it means.
And we make sure that that child, the priorities are that child ends up with his or her family first. And we only place Indian children with complete strangers.
Yeah,
If
royalty,
there
bro.
are any other
Safe is
healthy,
open.
good
Secure all
options
contents.
available within that child family or tribal nation or community.
Within their family,
I don't know what he's
tribal
doing,
nation,
if
or
he's AFK or
community.
something.
Folks, this is language in the United States law that says
Not
that
talking.
Native Americans are responsible for policing and overseeing their own communities, and that the United States government is not going to be allowed to step in unless there's absolutely no other alternative. Where black folk are concerned, daddy government shows up first. They teach your children, your women, your elderly. They will look to white society first. These folks have it in law that no, actually white society's hands off.
And that's really a best standard for really any child, but it was really important, and it still is important for Indian children because.
Yeah, it's a great standard for any child. Too bad black children don't have it.
And that's really a best standard for really any child, but it was really
Ultra One,
important.
the enemy
and it
is
still
on high
important
alert.
for Indian
Proceed with
children
caution.
because our
Actual
kids
to
are
Ultra
targeted
One. Winds
by
are
the
picking
adoption
up in the
industry and
AO.
by state
Advise
who
you
have
get to
prejudice
extraction
and
before
bias against
radiation
Native
moves
families
in.
and Native Nation. When that process started, the Brackeens were very upset, but ultimately that process did not result in them losing the child they wanted to adopt. They actually filed their lawsuit challenging the constitutionality of IGLA after they knew they were going to adopt the kid that they wanted to adopt.
Now think about that for a few moments. She said that this white couple sued after they were given permission to adopt the child that they wanted to. Now, usually in a court of law, you have to have legal standing. Usually in a court of law, you have to have legal standing. These folks didn't have, if they were approved for the child, they don't have legal standing. They claim to be prevented from doing something if you've just been told you're allowed to do it. But they're like, yeah, don't worry about it. We'll go ahead and we'll sue anyway. Yeah, you told us yes, but we're going to go ahead and sue anyway. So what does that tell you? What does that tell you? That tells you that this is not about the children's best interests. This is about white people having the ability to lay their hands on your child anyway and claim them. This is about white people having beyond human rights. They've got special privileges.
Yo, it's inbound.
They want your
Let's just
child.
fucking leave.
They can have it. If they want your child, they're now saying, we want to etch this into law. If we want your child, we can have them. This goes beyond the law right now, folks. This goes beyond the law and anything else. This is white privilege. How dare you tell us that we cannot take your child? And folks, by the way, I mean take your child. I want you to understand how scary this is. I myself do not have children, not biological. I've got thousands of foster children. But I don't have any biological children. You understand how simple it is. Take your children out of They got your kids in school right now. They've been teachers everything is up. Conversation.
All objectives and personnel together.
All you gotta do is have a teacher who's going to sit there and have the little movie and tell your child, parents should stand up before you be a girl. Don't mess around and hit these kids in their teenage years. They start getting rebellious against some sexually deviant individual in classrooms. Tell you
45 seconds to go, buddy.
We made out good, though.
45 seconds to go. We didn't get the fucking M13.
When that clock runs up, you still got about
That's
10
what they-
minutes to
that's what
get
they
to
do
the
that.
final extraction.
That's the way
But
they
that's
do
why
that.
you
Y'all
gotta have
understand.
your gas
We're
mask.
talking about women in the women's rights movement. We're talking about black women, black feminists. The daddy government only supports you when you go against black women. You can get plenty of government support if you want to go against black. Now, if you want to defend,
you wanna go?
get ready to walk into a tidal wave. Get ready to walk into a tidal wave. But if you want to go against
I'll
black
let you
people,
next one.
don't worry, there's plenty of government help for that. For your women, for your children. Yeah, you get plenty of backup. Don't worry, we'll walk